Hello and welcome to this lesson this afternoon. I'm just sharing it online so we can begin. So in this lesson, this is for pre-intermediates and intermediates. And to those of you who joined me in the morning, thank you very much. If you have come back to watch this one, thank you very much. Good afternoon. I hope you are all doing well. Unfortunately, the weather today isn't very good. I would describe the weather as dull. Dull being boring. It's not particularly exciting. Yesith, hi Richard. Hello Yesith, good afternoon. Thank you for joining this pre-intermediate and intermediate class. I hope you are well. Just enjoying a cup of tea. Marcella says, hi, how are you? I'm very good, thank you, Marcella. Nice to see you. Irina, hello. Hello, Irina. Thank you very much for joining. LVS.com, hello, Richard. Good morning, good afternoon, LVS.com. It's good to see it's good to see that we're now already up to like a good sized class already. Yorga, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Yorga. Joanna, hi Richard. Hello, Joanna. Nice to see you online. Maria, hello again, Maria. Excellent. So it's nice to see so many people already joining us online. Nadia, hello, Nadia. Lovely to see you. Excellent. Oh, wow. Okay. So a good number of you are already here. So we are going to be able to, we'll start the lesson. In this lesson, we are going to look at we're going to look at the passive voice as well as the past perfect, which is something we started to look at. But here in today's lesson, we are going to look to see how we can actually develop our writing skills. And in doing so, we need to look at when do we actually choose to use a past perfect? When do we choose to use a passive? What is the point of it? And for that, we'll start off with the passive. And I'll just show how you can use the passive in the past and the present. And more importantly, why you would use the passive. We'll then have a little look at how this comes together when trying to write sentences, particularly to do with the past, and how you can put your ideas down on paper. So we'll be able to have a good look at this. I'm just enjoying a cup of tea. I don't know how many cups of tea I've had today. I've had a lot of cups. I have had many cups of tea already today. But I am English, so I love my cups of tea. There's never a bad time to have a cup of tea. Okay, unless if you're having wine. I wouldn't mix wine and tea. Katerina, hello, Katerina. Good afternoon. So thank you for joining us. I hope you're well. And we're up to 10. So it's like a normal size class. Room 15. Right, let's begin. So let's start off with the passive voice and just remind ourselves what structure you need to have when making a passive, what you can and cannot do with a passive. So first of all, as you know, if you make an active, a normal sentence an active, you have your subject, which is going to be your agent, your doer, plus your verb to be, plus object of the sentence, such as Nokia make phones. Okay, and that is an active sentence. And we can see here that Nokia is the subject because that's what we want to talk about. We are talking about Nokia, and Nokia are the agent. Now, when I use this term agent, I mean the agent is the doer. The agent is the doer. So it is the cause of the action. It's why the action is happening. It's not the result. Now, this is the first thing. The passive is looking at the result. It's not looking at the cause. So, for example, phones are made by Nokia. Here, what we have in this sentence is the following. We have the object of an active sentence becomes the subject. So that's the first thing. The subject, and the subject is going to be focusing on the result. So you've got your subject, and that is the result of something, whatever you're talking about. That's the result. Plus, you've got your verb. You've got your verb to be plus your passive verb. Now, your passive verb, simply put, is your past participle. Then plus your object. Then you can either leave it. You do not actually need to finish. You don't even need an object of your sentence. You can have subject verb, and that will be enough for a passive. But if you are going to include anything, you can then have your object, which would be your object of your sentence, which might be the cause. It might be the cause, and it probably would be the cause of the problem, maybe, or the cause of the action. So that is the structure that you are working with. Subject, verb to be, passive verb, and then maybe object. Now, to give you an example of why you can create the passive without the object, just a subject and verb to be and passive verb, is when the reason why is not important. Now, you guys might have experienced this. One minute, yoga. Sorry, Nokia makes or Nokia make? Nokia make phones. Nokia makes phones. No. Let me go through some examples here. Nokia make phones. Apple make phones. I make phones. They make phones. She makes phones. Make. Nokia makes phones. No, Nokia make phones. Make. So, Yoga, to answer your question, that should be make. If you're referring to certain pronouns such as she or he makes yeah, he makes phones. Yes, but when you're talking, imagine Nokia is taking on the pronoun of I, so it would still be I make phones or Nokia make phones. Nokia makes phones. Right, I am pretty sure that is make. I'll tell you what, Yoga, just in case I'm wrong, I don't think I'm wrong, but just in case, I will double check during one of the activities, but I'm pretty sure it's make. Okay, so back to the previous thing. When would you make a passive? When would you make a... Don't thank me just yet. I could be wrong. But yes, no, I'm 90% sure that should be make. So back to the a brand is like I. If I'm not mistaken, I tell you what, I'm just going to check because I'm pretty sure it is. Let me just quickly check. Yes, it's make. I am now very sure that is definitely make. Wait. Yes. Okay. Right. I'm pretty sure houses are made by architects. Yes, Maria, that is an excellent example. Now, I want to give you an example um, of when. What was I talking about before? Passives. Okay. So when do you make a passive without the result? So you've got the flight was cancelled. Now, this is something you would experience when traveling. The flight was cancelled. Here, we do not need to say why. And if you are traveling, you will not see the answer why on the screen. You will just be told the flight was cancelled, or the flight is cancelled. The flight is delayed. The train is delayed. So again, you can make the passive when the focus is purely on the result and the why isn't even important, or the person doesn't know. Or the third option, which is you don't need to say it. It's a bit like, for instance, if we say the thief was caught. If you say the thief was caught, we can assume it was by the police, but we don't need to say the police. So you can make the passive without you putting in an object for three reasons. One, it's not, the information is not important as to why something is. Two, the person doesn't know. Or three, you don't need to say who did the action because it is already clear who did the action, such as the police. So there are three ways of when we would create the passive without the need to put the object. So Marcella has written, the wall was hit by someone, the vase was broken by someone. Yes, that is exactly it. That would be a good example of the passive as well. So how do we create the passive in different grammatical sentences? So we can have, let's say we have, so he is hit. He is hit by a car. Okay, right. We're going to go for a bit of a dark one, but nonetheless. So he is hit or he is hit by a car. Um, if this is continuous, he is being hit. Okay, so here to make the passive continuous, present continuous passive, you need being. So passive continuous. Okay, he is being hit. This would be something like maybe if you're watching an MMA fight, for example. Present perfect. He has been hit. So this would be your present perfect passive. That's how you would create it. Now, in the past, you would say he was hit by someone. So that's your past simple. He was being hit. That's your past continuous passive voice. And then he had been hit. He had been hit. That would be your past perfect passive. He had been hit by someone. There's probably going to be more to that because it's a past perfect. He had been hit by someone as he walked out of the bar, for example. So, and if you were to use it in the future, he will be hit, for instance, maybe by someone again. That would be a future simple. He will be He will be being, okay, we'll stop there actually. It's a bit of a strange one when we start trying to use the passive in the future, because you can use it, but it's a bit strange. We might have to think of a different example. He will be being, no, the future continuous is a bit of a difficult one. And I should add the perfect continuous, so present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, future perfect continuous. We do not make the passive with those. So what I have shown you here is what you need to know in terms of how to use the passive. Remember, you always have that verb to be. If you're making a continuous sentence, such as in the present or the past, then you need the verb to be and being, and then the past participle. So that's the way it works. And it's important to remember that the cause of the action is not always needed. So what I'm going to do here is I'm now going to play a game with you. I am going to write 5 verbs. Okay, I'm going to write, actually no, I'm not even going to write necessarily, yeah, I'm going to write 5 verbs, and I want you guys to try and create your own passive sentences. We'll start off with the present simple, and then I want you guys to try and create your own present simple, present continuous, present perfect, past simple, past perfect, and past continuous. So we'll try that for each of these 5 verbs. I mean, look, you guys might understand this very quickly, in which case I might just limit it to 3. So let's start off with the first word. And the first word I'm going to use is discover. Discover. So I'm going to give you some time. Try and come up with your own examples of discover in the passive form, in the passive form. And we'll see what you guys come up with. With the likes of discover, if you're struggling to think of ideas, don't worry. There's always things like the Vikings or Christopher Columbus. Okay, so Colombia was discovered by Christopher Columbus. Yes, that's a good one. The USA, Nadia, don't forget the USA. It's one of the most of the time with countries you don't use the, but when you use the something like USA or the United Kingdom, you need the. So the USA was discovered by Colombo. Yes, that's good. Let's see what other people come up with. Maybe someone wants to try a continuous version. Maybe someone wants to try present perfect version. Let's see what you guys come up with. I'll give you a couple of more minutes, and then we'll go on to, actually not minutes. I'll give you 1 more minute with discover, and then I'm going to introduce the next word. I'll come up with the next word. Irina, psychologists discovered new interests in the new generation. Okay, Irina, you've written an active sentence there. You need to turn everything around. You need the other way around, such as for instance, you would have to start off with the interests of the new generation. Interests. I don't know. It's a bit of a strange one, but the result is going to be interests, though. The psychologist are the active, is the agent here. Jorg, he has discovered his own style. That's an active as well, Jorg. He has discovered, because he's the agent. Let's say, okay, imagine a style of dress, for instance, like the flamingo style of dress was discovered or had been discovered. So York, try again. You've written an active. See if you can change it around. Maria, Malta was took by, oh, close, taken. Took, taken. Taken is the past participle of take. But good effort there, Maria. Joanna Mantilla. The COVID-19 was discovered in Wuhan, China. Perfect. That's very well done. That's an excellent sentence. Yes, it was discovered in Wuhan. It's a very good example. Irina, virus discovered by virologists. Yes, you can. That's a good. Ooh, the virus was. The virus was. Okay, Irina. The virus was discovered. So you don't forget, you need your verb to be was discovered. That's the passive. Yiseth, she has discovered a new animal species. Okay, that's an active. You need animal species the other way around. So the animal, you want to start off with the animal, this species of animal was, and then you can complete your sentence. Facebook was created by Mark Zuckerberg. Maria, that is a very good sentence. Well done. Very well done. Okay, right. Let's move on to the next word that we can look at. For this one, I'm going to go with a word that I want to choose I want to choose an irregular verb as well here. Jorg, a new element has been discovered by some scientists. Yes, that's a very good sentence, Jorg. Well done. Right, so let's go with the next one. I'm going to go with an irregular verb. Okay. Teach. So teach is your verb, and obviously you now need to think of what the past participle of teach is. I'll give you a few minutes. Let's see what you guys come up with, and we'll see what you can create. We'll see what you guys come up with. She was taught English at school. Excellent. Fantastic. Well done. Yes, Irina. Marcella, the teachers were taught online during the quarantine. Oh, wait a minute, wait. Are you saying the teachers are teaching students, or the teachers are being taught by other teachers? Are the teachers if the teachers are having like a lesson for teachers, then that would be okay. Online is one word, by the way. Okay, good year education. Okay, we've got a few more. So Yiseth, he loves to teach about biology, especially animals and plants. Ah, he loves to teach. You'll see here, Yiseth, you're talking, he is the agent. He's the one doing the action. So you need to rethink your sentence. You've written an active, not a passive. Nadia, good education is taught by parents. Yes, that's correct. Okay, I'll tell you what, Yusef, I'll just help you out here with this one, if you like. The lessons of the book are being taught by the teacher. Well done. Careful of your spelling of taught. I know it's an or sound, but it's Taugh. Yusef, to help you, what I'm going to say is he. You're talking about what he loves to do. But we need to think of the result. So, for instance, the result is biology, and animals and plants. So you would have to start your sentence with the context of biology and animals and plants. Okay, Mantilla. Uh, During the quarantine, the students have been studying English. During the quarantine, the students have been studying English. Ooh, unfortunately, that is an active because the students are the ones. The students are the doers, are the agents of the sentence. They're the ones doing the action of studying. If you turn it on its head and you're going to go with the subject English, it, English has been studied, then that would be okay. So if it's a good thing to remember, actually, the subject is usually your object of your sentence. You need to make it the subject. You need to make it the subject. So, Mantilla, try again. See if you can rewrite that sentence. And don't forget, you need to have like English has been studied. You need that has been studied for that one. Nadia, have been studying is present perfect continuous. Yes, Nadia, it is a present perfect continuous, and we cannot make a passive with a present perfect continuous either. Good spot there, Maria. Sorry, good spot there, Nadia. Well done. Maria has written, they are learning. Okay, in the active, Maria, that would be they are learning how to swim, or they are learning, yeah, they are learning how to swim. Here, you need to think of who's the teacher. So, for instance, they are being taught. They are being taught how to swim. So that would be your sentence there, Maria. They are being taught how to swim. See if you can write that for me. Yusef, you've come back with the biology one. biology is taught by him, and he loves that. That's a really good sentence. Well done, Niseth. Maria, they are learning swim. That would be, they are learning how to swim, Maria, would be a present continuous, and that would be an active sentence. So, swim is the object of your active sentence. So it now needs to become the subject of your passive sentence. So it would be something like swimming. You have to go with swimming as well. Swimming is okay. I'll give you 30 more seconds. I'll give you 30 more seconds. See if you can correct your sentence. So okay, Mantilla, there have there have been studying English during the quarantine. That would be they have been studying English. Okay, so Mantilla, what you've written here is something called a present perfect continuous. Continuous. Okay, and I'll explain why. You've gone for have plus been plus verb ing. Okay. Now you can only make an active sentence. This is an active sentence. So they have been studying English during the quarantine period, for example. Okay, so would be that would be your present perfect continuous sentence, and it has to be active. We can't make a passive. If you want to make a passive, you would have to change it to English has been studied by students while in quarantine. For example, that would be one way of writing this sentence. The more likely, now we would probably go with the present continuous, probably in this at the moment. We'd probably go with, let's say, English is being studied, for example. But just to give you an example, if you want to make a present perfect passive, your object would usually have to be your subject. So English, from being the object of your sentence, becomes the subject. Marcella, English lessons were taught online during the quarantine. That is good. Marcella, don't forget, online is one word. Online is one word. Okay, let's go with the next word. Let's go with, I'm going to go with another irregular verb. Let's go with report. No, I'm going to go with a regular verb. Report. So here we're thinking like not the noun as in this is a report, but the verb to report, like the news report, like CNN report, BBC report. So we're going to go with the verb form of report. Okay, let's see what you guys come up with. Okay, the results are being reported on the newspaper. Okay, guys, just to remind you, if it's a newspaper which is physical, then it's in the newspaper. But if it's not the newspaper and just the news, the results are being reported in the news, or it can be on the news. Actually, it depends on the source of the news. Funny enough, if you say the results are being reported in the news, usually we're saying that because we've learned about the report while reading a newspaper. If you if you got your news from the TV, then we would say on the news. Okay, the results are being reported on the news, meaning it's on the television. Jorg, the last news or last news of Malta was reported by the First Minister. The latest, Jorg, very close. In terms of the grammar of the passive, that is correct. What you just need to do is the latest bit of news. That's all you need to do, and then that's a really good sentence. Marcella, the news have been reporting all cases of COVID in my country. Marcella, you have created a present perfect continuous. Remember now, COVID is the result. COVID is your object in an active. Try and rewrite that sentence the other way around. COVID-19. Okay, you need to start with COVID-19. Yiseth, statements were reported by the team in the meeting. Yes, that's a good sentence, Yiseth. Irina has written, this accident has been reported. Very good sentence, Irina. That's a good example of how you can write a present perfect passive. Well done. Very well done. Okay. Right. I'm going to give you 30 more seconds and then I'll give you, actually, no, we'll move on to the next word. This time I'm going to give you guys, because I'll give you one more word. I'm going to give, Nadia has come up with all cases of COVID-19 were reported in the news. Excellent. Well done. That is a good sentence. Okay. Maria, they are traveling to Ibiza, but they saved money. That's an active sentence. Here, money is your object. So it has to become your subject. Money was saved. Money was saved. They are traveling to. So money was saved, even though they are traveling to Ibiza. Money was saved, even though they are traveling to. Even though they are traveling to Ibiza. Money is your object of your active sentence. It has to become the subject. Okay, let's do one more. I'm going to go with catch. Okay, this is our last one for the passive, and then we'll move on to the past perfect and seeing how we can tie everything together. Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of time. See if you guys can create a passive with catch. Okay, so we now have a few answers. The fish was caught by me an hour ago. Well done, Irina. That's a good sentence. Nadia, the killer is caught by the police. Excellent. That's a good sentence. Marcella, the thieves were caught by the police force. We can't say very. Thieves were caught by the police very fast. Yeah, okay, small little thing. Typically speaking, here, instead of very fast, very quickly, but the meaning's the same. But more importantly, you got the grammar point correct. So well done, Marcella. Just changed very fast to very quickly. Okay, let's have a look at the past perfect, how we can tie everything together. York, the mouse was caught by my cat this morning. That's a good sentence. Well done. Excellent. So, okay, I think we're now beginning to get the idea. Katarina, the mouse was caught by a cat. Excellent. Perfect. Well done. Okay. So, let's see how we can tie everything together. Okay, so just to remind ourselves, the past perfect, you've got had plus past participle. You're talking about two finished actions, and typically speaking, maybe action two uh, is before action one, for example, and you might need to use time makers by the time. So, for example, by the time I had arrived, the police um, uh, the police were already there. Okay, we found that the money was stolen and that the place was robbed by two people. They are now being looked for, and there is a reward for, and there is a reward. I will just, then I'll tell you what, that's too long, too many words. Okay, let's look at the sentence. So here I've gone in with a past perfect and I've continued with the passive. So by the time I had arrived, the police were already there. We found that the money was stolen and that the place was robbed by two people. What can we see? Okay, I'm saying that by the time I arrived there, the police were already there and they were doing their thing. And I'm reporting what the police found. So the police found that the money was stolen and that the place was robbed by two people. Why am I choosing to use the passive? I'm choosing to use the passive because we are reporting. We are reporting the result of something. We are reporting the result of something. So this is what happens when you would see. This is why this language is used when when you are reporting a story, especially when there's missing detail. And especially the result of the story is what you want to focus on, not the action, not the causation of it. Maria has written, we had met in the restaurant, but my best friend with my had hit with her parents. We met in the restaurant, but my parents had hit with her parents. Do you mean like an argument or a confrontation, Maria? Because then you would have to write, okay, we had met in the restaurant, but my best friend but there was hmm, I might need more information to help you out with that one, Maria. Try again. Um, so, like I was saying, when you are trying to report something, this is why we try to use the passive. I'm going to use the weather as another example. Okay. So, for instance, there had been strong winds over the weekend. Shops and buildings were destroyed. Shops and buildings were destroyed, and trees were well. I'm not going to use trees. Shops and buildings were destroyed, and so there. So there had been strong winds over the weekend. Shops and buildings were destroyed, and people were left without electricity. Uh, okay. Again, so this is reporting the news again. This is something you would hear in the news or read. There had been strong winds over the weekend. Shops and buildings were destroyed, and people were left without electricity. Again, what we can see here is that we're talking about the result of something. So by the time Marcella has written, by the time my husband had met someone else, I realized something late. You'd have to say, I realized it was too late. It was too late. It was annoying. Okay, all of that is a good sentence, but it's an active sentence. It's not a passive sentence. I'm going to help you guys out here, okay? I am going to write a sentence, but I'm going to miss out the important grammatical side of things, but I'll tell you what verb you need to use. And we'll see what you guys can make, okay? So, mm, go with the uh, Okay. So what I have here is, guys, thank you for being patient. I'm just going to press enter here. Okay. What I have is we hadn't see him before, but we know he was here to meet us. He had something that we were something at the weekend by the criminal. So have a go. Try and complete that sentence for me. Try and complete that sentence for me. You need to see if you need to make the past perfect. You need to see if you need to make a passive, or passive simple, or a past perfect passive. Now, Polish Arkadas, hello from Poland. Hello, Polish Arkadas. Yusef, an Indian designer, contacted me for a new podcast about the mental situation in quarantine. We will make a podcast today, and I'm feeling nervous because my English is not good. Yusef, you will be fine. You will be fine. I'm sure if you can speak as well as you can write, you will be just fine. Okay, so good luck to you, Yusef. I wish you all the best. Please let me know how it goes. Yoga, by the time of quarantine, all freelance jobs will made by me at home. I see what you're going for there, Yoga. By the time quarantine is over, all freelance jobs will be. The verb is conducted from home. That is what you're going for, Yoga. The word is to conduct something, like conduct a meeting, conduct uh, um, freelancing jobs. Okay, guys, I'll give you a bit of time. Don't forget about what I had written up here. I'll just copy all that again, so it's the latest one you can see. Let's see if you guys can. Let's see who's the first person to get this paragraph right, the one I've just posted. Okay, let's see who can get this right. Okay, Arena has had a go. Let's see. Arena, we hadn't seen him before, but we knew he was here to meet us. He had been told that we were attacked at the weekend by the criminal. Okay, Irina, that is a really, really good effort. I'm not going to tell you if you are 100% because I want to see what other people write, and then I will tell you. Let's see what Marcel has gone for. We hadn't seen him before. Oh, no, he's taking it away. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to tell you guys if Arena is 100% yet, but she has written a very, very good paragraph. And we will, in a few moments, I will tell you if she's 100% correct or if there's one or two things that we can look at But that's a very good start. Let's see if let's see who else. Let's see who else uh, wants to come in with a go. Marcella just now posted something, but took it away. We've only got 4 minutes left of the lesson. Just to let you guys know, I will be back later at 4 o'clock. So coming up into in about an hour, 4 o'clock. This is going to be for intermediate, advanced, and IELTS students. But if you want to join, please do. We are going to be doing more writing skills, developing your writing skills. Looking at some of you guys here, I think some of you will be able to follow. I am going to be tying lots of different aspects of writing together. So if you want to join me again, I'll be on in an hour at 4 o'clock. Okay, I'm going to give you guys 30 more seconds, and then I will tell you what Arena got right. Marcella has come back again. Let's see what you've written, Marcella. We hadn't seen him before, but we known he was here to meet us. We had, I think that's meant to be been. We had been told that we were attacked at the weekend by the criminal. Okay, Marcella, that is also very good. The one difference here is the difference between you and known, and we will see which one is correct in about 20 seconds. We'll have a look to see if it's meant to be known or if it's meant to be new. You have to think here, is this meant to be a past simple? If it's just a past simple, then it would have to be new. If it's a passive, then it would have to be known. So have a little look at that sentence and see which one is going to be correct. Maria, okay, thank you, Richard. With this topic, my mind is lost. All right, okay, Maria. Sorry to hear that. What I can do is, Maria, it is difficult when we try to bring everything together, the passive and the past perfect together. It is definitely difficult. So please don't worry about that. But Maria, nonetheless, thank you very much for joining us. Your sentences at the beginning were still good, so we know you can write the passive on its own. So just more examples. Okay. Yes, I can write more examples. Not to worry. Katerina, thank you for the lessons. See you when is the next class? Yiseth, the next class is at 4 o'clock today. So let me just tell you guys, Irina is correct. We hadn't seen him before, but we knew he was here to meet us. He had been told that we were attacked at the weekend by the criminal. That is the correct answer. So well done, Irina. You got it 100% correct. Marcella, you got 90%. You just had to make sure that instead of known, it was new. That's all. So, guys, thank you so much for joining. Maria, I will put up, by the way, the times for next week's lesson, and I will continue to look at some of these things. So, Maria, feel free to remind me. I'll see if I can come up with some more examples, and we can continue to look at it, because trying to I know that you can, for instance, like write the individual sentences, because I can see, but it's always difficult when we try to bring ideas together and lots of different grammar structures together to try and say what we want. So we'll have a look at that. Mantilla, thanks, Richard. Thank you, Mantilla, for joining us. Yiseth, thanks, Richard. See you soon. When is the next class? That's at 4 o'clock today. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Really well done. This is a difficult grammar. These are two difficult grammar points, especially when we try to bring everything together, but really well done. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. I'm not going to go through everyone because quite a few of you commented in the lesson, but for everyone who participated, thank you very, very much. I hope you And I'm glad that you've enjoyed looking at the live comment section. I can see that you guys enjoyed it. So thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. It is difficult without a whiteboard. It's difficult not in class. But the fact that you guys are understanding and can produce the language, the grammar structure, is really encouraging. It's good to see. So thank you very much, guys. I will be back in 1 hour at 4 o'clock. It is going to be for the higher levels, but if you feel confident, please join me. Thank you very much, guys. See some of you in an hour, and if I don't see you in an hour, have a really good weekend. I will put up times later on about the times for next week for online YouTube lessons as well. Keep safe, like the video, share, and I will see you guys, some of you, in an hour, and bye for now. Thank you so much. Okay. And end stream.